Hey everybody, this is Jonathan, and welcome back to something different. I wanted to do something different than what I have been doing, but I still want to do the other stuff that I have been doing, such as as anyone that's been watching some of these videos, I do the biblical exploration, and I also do I did one video on current events. I want to do more, but I just I haven't come across anything that really piqued my interest enough to make a video on it. So there's that. But I still cover current events from time to time. But in addition to that, and in addition to Bible time, because I enjoy doing that also, I wanted to do something a little different. Kind of like a vlog. And I don't know, maybe I'll even grab my tiny little camera and do like on location things, but not like the Ministry Road vlog that I did a while back. This is going to be a little more different. This is going to be, I think, more behind the scenes. And let me explain. Sometimes I get questions from people about the ministry, about the nonprofit organization, about like how to start a nonprofit, stuff like that. And while I have no plans of starting like a tutorial on how to start a nonprofit, I will um, explain some things, and I'll be very honest and transparent. That's where I'm getting at with this is transparency. I'm kind of taking the veil away because I think a lot of times people are very um, secretive, or let me put it this way: when people start a business or an organization, because I'm going to get to in a second how starting a nonprofit organization is very similar to starting a small business. But when people start a business or a company or a nonprofit organization, there's sometimes a lack of transparency to a certain degree because they want to pretend that they're bigger than they are. And they people are afraid of being small. And that's the point I'm getting at. That's one of the points I'm getting at is don't be afraid to be small. If you're just starting out, especially in the networking world, when you start networking with other nonprofits, be honest with them. Tell them you're just starting out. Don't try to, BS your way thinking that's going to work, because it's not, because the players in the game are going to know you're BSing them. You might fool the general public to a certain degree, but you're not going to fool the players. So don't do that. Another reason why it's not really helpful. I could see some advantages to pretending you're bigger than you are, but it's not helpful in the sense that getting help. Because if if the general public feels that you're well established, they might think you don't need any help. So be honest. Be honest about the size of your organization. Be honest about how much help you need, whether it be monetary help or even volunteers. Um, Another reason why, see, now this is a lot different than running a business. Even though I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna explain to you why it's similar. But first, I'm gonna say why it's different, a lot different. First of all, this nonprofit organization, I always say it's the Lord's ministry, and when I pray about it every morning, I always say it's the Lord's ministry. When I talk with the Lord, it's the Lord's ministry. So by me admitting that this organization is small and it's fledgling, it brings glory to God, because and I said this multiple times talking to different people, that there's no way we could cover the ground that we do with the few amount of people that we have volunteering and working for this ministry. There's no way we could do all this without the Lord working through us and working through this ministry. And it's just amazing, all the stuff that has been accomplished. And I'm not even going to take the credit for it. It's definitely the Lord at work. Amazing things are happening. So admitting that we're small also gives glory to God. So that's definitely important to me. I think that's very important. Um, how is it like? How is it like starting a business? Well, starting a nonprofit, kind of like, so like if you start a small business, you're going to be in the red for quite a while. And so whether you want to start a small business or start a nonprofit, you better be passionate about it because it's going to cost you some money. And I'm not even talking about the money that it takes to legitimize yourself, like as a registered 501c3. That that takes a bit of cash as well. But just funding the operations, just getting the wheels turning, it takes quite a bit of money out of pocket. So I'm not saying that as a bad thing, but it's got to be something that you really believe in. It's got to be something that you're very passionate about because it's going to require you to put your money where your mouth is, quite literally. But yeah, so going forward in the future, I want to start putting out some of these videos. I just want to talk about like the adventure of because at this point in time, I do the bookkeeping. I do the I'm drawing a blank right now. But I'm the CEO, I'm the treasurer, and laborer, whatever else in between. It gets to be a lot, and I also am in charge of the filing of the taxes. I work with the accountant, and we go over that. I also do the graphic design. If there's any graphic design that's needed, I run the website. I update the website. I manage the social media. So when I list it out like that, it sounds crazy, It's like, wow, I am doing all this crazy amount of stuff, but I'm used to it now, so it's not a big deal. But it adds up. It's a lot. And the thing is, when it comes to like the bookkeeping, when you become legitimate, you have to keep track of everything. One, you have to have a business account, and you have to keep track of all your money. Okay, it's not like if you were to just start a ministry, and these are things you have to consider. If you would want to go the route of legitimizing, becoming a registered nonprofit, because you could just be a ministry and just take donations and not legitimize, and it's not quite as serious then as far as like managing and micromanaging your money, because you have to definitely keep track of everything because it all gets reported. You have to report it all to your accountant, which then your accountant will file it for you, and you have to create an expense report, and your accountant is going to request that from you, and you have to tally up all your expenses. But everything has to be accounted for. It sounds kind of scary. It sounds intimidating, but it's really not that bad. It's just a matter of you have to stay on top of it. Now, in a large organization, you would have separate people do this stuff. You would have someone that maybe just does bookkeeping, someone who's just in charge of the treasury, someone that's just the CEO that does the networking and the meetings and everything else. But when you're starting out, you wind up doing a lot of things yourself. You wind up being the wearer of many hats, as I like to say. So that's in a nutshell where I'm at with that. And I want to create more videos like this. If you have any questions or comments, please comment them. I'm going to want to putting this on YouTube and Facebook just because there is a YouTube channel, but my biggest concern is not getting a ton of subscribers. It's just getting the word out there, getting the message out there. So I don't care if you watch this on YouTube or Facebook. Just the fact that it's being watched. And if you have any questions, Either comment under the Facebook video or comment under the YouTube video, and we'll talk about it. And actually, I prefer whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, I prefer you watching or commenting under the post on our group, and I'll put a link in the description for the group, because that is the group where the community gets together, and the P346 community gets together, and we talk and chat about things and discuss different topics. And if you have any questions or comments, as I was saying, put them down below. And based on your questions or comments, it could fuel more video ideas, stuff to talk about the nonprofit, behind the scenes type stuff, the stuff that a lot of people probably aren't talking about because they don't want you to know about it. They don't want you to know the human side of things. They don't want you to know that they struggle. But I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'll tell you about it. I'll tell you some things suck, whatever, it's true. It's I'll tell you sometimes it's stressful that I struggle with some things. But you know what? That's the point of this new vlog, I guess you can call it, is transparency. If you want to know about this nonprofit, I'll tell you about this nonprofit. I'll tell you about nonprofits in general. And so I invite you on this journey with me. Let's talk about it. The veil is being removed. There's behind every single nonprofit, behind every business, there's people. And a lot of people choose to put up a facade. And I am willing and open to removing this facade and saying, hey, look, I'm a person behind this. Sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. Sometimes I know what I'm doing. And then I sometimes am researching stuff to figure out what I need to do. So here it is. Like I said, comment down below if you have any questions or ideas for future videos or topics. And yeah, let's just keep this going. All right, guys. Catch you later. Have a good night, and God bless.